guys? Joe Szymanski here. How do you like that, Mason Nation? Another big win for your Patriots today. Student section absolutely showed out. Go Green and Gold.
It is a great time to be a George Mason Patriot. Welcome to the Onward to Victory podcast. This is Joe Szymanski with Giant Killer. Count them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everyone get in the line. It's the Patriots with 5 wins in a row and their second straight victory over a current top 4 A-10 team, taking down a rough and tough Fordham squad, 64-58. Last night at the EBA, it was senior night. Started off the great ceremony for all 5 seniors. Of course, I want to remind people on the fact Ticket and Josh, because they went through the ceremony, does not mean they are done with the team. Davon Cooper did go through the ceremony last year. He obviously ended up staying with the team. So that should take no comment on whether or not either of those two gentlemen are done, but I think they got sent out in a pretty good way. 1 more year chance occurred for both Ticket and Josh. But after that, it was some nice moments. But after that, it was time to play some basketball. Did see a change in the starters for the Patriots. Saquon Singleton shifted in for Justin Fernandez. And after some really good minutes, improved himself once again. Saquon with maybe his best game of the year. 11 points and 7 boards on 3 of 6 shooting and 5 of 8 from the free throw line. And folks, some big, huge minutes from Saquon, especially for the fact that Ticket dealt with some foul trouble and also took a shot to the face. At the end of the first half, I had to see him go to the locker room, had to get him fixed up there a little bit, make sure he wasn't bleeding. But anyways, that kept him out, and then some foul trouble then pretty much took him out for most of the second half. Only played about 3:20 in the second half. Does not matter, though. Josh Oduro did also end up fouling out himself, but drew 10 fouls and, of course, 17 points, 6 boards, 4 blocks. Mr. Oduro. The paint was huge for the Patriots in this game. Really, maybe the best defensive job of the year. Will Richardson really has been one of Fordham's big long-range threats. 0 for 4 from the field. Darius Quisenberry, only 3 for 13. Khalid Moore, only 5 for 16. Then again, I will say Moore did get to the line 14 times. He was really the only guy who got to the line for the Rams. But Quisenberry and Antrell Charlton both really shut down and Abdu Simbila as well. Really rough game for Simbila, I think. Fordham head coach Keith Ergo was hoping for a lot more out of him. He did not get it. Both bigs for Fordham also dealt with some foul trouble. Rostislav Nowitzki and Simbila both played under the 21 minutes. Simbila only played barely 15. Struggling with the bigs there, and I honestly, once Nowitzki got his 5th in the second half and the overtime period, that was that. But this was a rough and tumble game. A lot of fouls. Just a lot of fouls. A lot of fouls. 30 on Fordham, 25 on the Patriots. Just a lot of fouls. And also along with 2 technicals. So really technically only 28 and 23 personal fouls and then 2 technicals on each end, both coinciding. Charlton and Gaines late in the second half, and then Polite and Moore in the overtime period, both with doing technicals. It was a rough game. The referees, I think, lost control of this game. They did not do a very good job of it. I don't like the way that they played. I don't like the way that they controlled this game. I don't know if they even really had control of this game. And I think it led to some moments that I don't think either coach really wanted, and it led to the game kind of getting out of control at some hands. But sometimes that's basketball. These are 2 teams fighting for spots right now, fighting in the end of the season. Who could have predicted, if you told someone 2 years ago, that Fordham versus George Mason in March would be key marquee basketball in the A-10? And you know what? We had that game last night. Ronnie Polite came up huge again in overtime. Davon Cooper, 7 points, 10 boards from Coop. Huge game on the glass from Cooper there. Justin Fernandez added in 2 threes of his own right, along with an assist. And also, by the way, 6 boards. He was 6 boards for Mr. Fernandez. Huge there. Malik Henry as well, 7 points, 3 boards. All offensive rebounds for for Malik. He had a couple of big ones there at the end of the second half, and most specifically in overtime, a huge and one basket where he made his free throw. It was big at the end. Ronnie again. Ronnie and Coop both huge on the free throw line to end the game. Just a huge win. For now, the seeding is not set, but it confirms that Mason will be playing. Will be finishing somewhere within the 5 to 7 range. Mason cannot at this point finish anywhere below 7th place at 10-7. So that does mean, number one, that your Patriots have improved on last year, especially in the A10. They will have a winning record in the A10 for the first time in the Kim English era. And of course, that means on Saturday afternoon, 12:30, heading down to Richmond, face off against Spidey. Haven't played them since, of course, the beginning of actually on the new year, on New Year's Eve. Starting kicking off the A10 season against Richmond. We now close out the A10 season against Richmond. Gonna be an interesting game. It's a Richmond team that's played some teams really close, but has struggled, especially as Jameer Nelson, their freshman point guard, has kind of cooled off from a hot start. He's struggled a little bit. So goes the Spidey, but obviously we'll be talking more about that when I do the Richmond preview. But otherwise, a huge game. My player of the game, personally, I'm gonna give it to Saquon Singleton. Saquon, 11 huge points, was electric on the glass, was energetic all game, huge on defense, took on Ticket's minutes, took on his defensive roles, helped shut down Quisenberry, helped shut down Richardson, helped shut down Simbilla. Just a great game from Saquon Singleton, and he should be recognized. He is my giant killer player of the game for the Fordham match. Folks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games in a row we've won. Be hyped, be excited. Let's go for 6 against Richmond on Saturday. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching. This has been Joe Szymanski of the Onward to Victory podcast. Go green and gold.